Welcome to my channel and this video. The reason I'm making this is as a result of quite a few of the comments I had on the first video where I talked about Eugenia Cooney in reference to people not being ready for recovery and the stigma there can be around admitting that you might not be ready. And I just, rather than constantly writing the same reply to people who comment, I thought it'd be easier just to make another video. So there seems to be a bit of confusion about what I was saying in that video. I wasn't saying that it's okay for somebody to post content that could be potentially harmful to children, but equally, I don't believe that is Eugenia's intention. I don't think she wants to hurt anyone or negatively influence anyone. She happens to be somebody with a severe mental illness, and it is unfortunate that in this day and age, the internet makes it so much easier for others who are at risk of the same or similar mental illness to find things which can negatively influence them. I don't think harassing one person is the answer to the problem. People have been posting horrible comments to Eugenia for months, possibly even years, and it hasn't stopped her posting. She isn't posting any less from what I can tell. I don't follow Eugenia, but for the video that I did where I mentioned her, I did do a bit of research and look into her content and what she posts a bit more. But the heart of the issue, I believe, lies with social media platforms, their rules, and the enforcing of those rules. It's all very well for social media platforms to say that they're maybe going to monitor or review content which contains certain hashtags. They need to actually police this. If Eugenia were to stop posting, someone else would simply step into her place. Before Eugenia, there were people with anorexia in the spotlight as role models. In the 90s, I could name at least 3 people were extremely thin, always denied having eating disorders, but were almost revered for how thin they were. There will be others coming after Eugenia. Hounding her off the internet isn't going to do anything to benefit her. When it comes to things like people making money from having an illness, I mean, that's not what she started posting. When Eugenia started, she was doing cosplay and makeup tutorials and I think clothing hauls. The eating disorder has become more and more prominent, and it's probably now what she is more well known for than the content she first started posting. That's not her fault. She is earning her living. She is not actively online saying, I weigh this, I eat this, I do this, I don't do this, or anything like that. It's a really fine line, because whilst the content Eugenia is posting could be viewed by some as potentially harmful, she's not actively promoting harmful behaviours and she's not breaking any rules. So enforcing a ban on her could therefore be a bit of a minefield for any social media platforms. I think it does need to be more of a blanket approach rather than focusing in on one person. I think if Eugenia was actively promoting anorexia as a lifestyle, not a disease or any of that sort of stuff, absolutely, that is not okay and that is not acceptable. And that goes for anyone promoting anything that is negative or potentially harmful in that way. But she's not doing that. She is just being herself, and unfortunately she does have an illness which in her case has a very physical presentation. Should she be age restricted? Personally, I would say I'm not sure. I can see why it would be a good idea, because she could be perceived to be having a negative influence on younger people, and indeed there may be young people looking at her and thinking, well, she's got everything, I want to be like that, and I want to be that thin too. However, age restricting Eugenia is not going to get rid of the problem, because she is only one person, and this is a huge problem. It's been going on for years, and she's become something of a scapegoat for it, I think, and I don't think that's very fair on her. I strongly believe that people have a genetic predisposition to an eating disorder, and there are a certain set of factors that can trigger that genetics to activate. Watching Eugenia Cooney's videos on its own is not enough to trigger that. There have to be other factors in the mix. There's things like low self-esteem, bullying, there may be a history of trauma or abuse. There's so much that goes into an eating disorder, and simply looking at someone online who is really, really thin is not going to give somebody an eating disorder. I just feel that instead of people focusing on trying to get Eugenia age restricted or banned from the internet, because clearly it's not working. People have been trying this for years. It's not working. She's still there, she's still posting. If you feel that strongly about her content and others posting content like hers, because they will be out there, you may not know who they are because they are not as prominent or well known, but they will be out there, then direct that energy at the people who have the power to do something. Don't direct it all at Eugenia. She's not listening. She's not stopping posting. She's not changing the content she posts or anything like that. And I know that there were things about her doing, like, I think there were nip slips or flashing her knickers or stuff like that. The thing about anorexia, when you become extremely thin, clothes do not fit. You can be wearing a low-cut top and you move slightly and suddenly your entire boob is exposed, because there is not the flesh there that there should be to fill out the top, and it's completely unintentional. Similarly, I know that people were accusing her of wearing a nappy or diaper, as you say in America. Again, I don't want to get into too much detail or be too graphic here, but anorexia, it affects the entire body. If you have no bum, you have nothing to fill your knickers out. So they are hanging off your hip bones and the material will bunch up in the middle, and it could well look like a diaper or nappy. And I think that's probably much more likely to be the case. And again, clothes that don't fit properly don't sit where they're supposed to sit. And so it is really, really easy to flash. I might be wrong, but I would like to give her the benefit of the doubt when it comes to things like the flashing. However, if that sort of thing is happening, whether it is intentional or accidental, she does have a responsibility, I think, to dress in a way that will prevent that from happening. I think I have spoken quite long enough on the subject of Eugenia. I'm hoping that this answers anything that may have been raised by my first video. If it doesn't, please do leave me a comment in the box below. You do not have to agree with me. This is simply my opinions and my thoughts. I just think people are wasting their time and energy harassing somebody that could be better directed and perhaps more effective if it was channeled elsewhere. If you have any questions or there is anything you want to say, feel free to drop me a comment in the box below. I'm perfectly happy for you to disagree with me. I just ask that you be respectful towards me and towards anyone else in the comments, and I will be respectful towards you guys as well. Thank you for watching, and if this is your first time on my channel, it would be great if you could come back. And if you haven't seen the first video I posted on Eugenia, I'll put a link to it at the end of this one so that you can watch that as well. But for now, take care and stay safe. Bye.